Hey, what's cracking, everyone? Welcome back once again to our channel, Through Failure and Success, where we share, you know, beautiful stories of successes that we have experienced, but also a lot of failures a lot of the times, and then just some of the adversity that we had gone through in our own personal lives, and some of this tactics, some of the strategies that we have learned, and we share those with you in this channel. So, by the way, today's video, I want to talk to you about, just how ridiculous this NBA legends spend their money, right? Now you get to see the lavish lifestyle, you get to see them spend millions and millions of dollars, but you also get to see them go bankrupt. And most of the times because they don't have the right people around them. So I just want to share with you some examples today. But by the way, if you haven't done so, go ahead and click the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel because I'm going to tell you right now, we do bring valuable content to you every single week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with Michael Jordan and how he spends his billions that he had earned throughout his career.
This is how NBA legends spend their millions.
Shaquille O'Neal, by the way, he's a big entrepreneur.
We gotta start with Michael Jordan, because he copped a luxury G550 private jet, equipped with its own fully stocked bar, personal Wi-Fi, and an elephant print paint job worth $350 just to match his shoes. Flying like this will suck you dry, because this jet not only cost Jordan $61 million, but it's also costing him $3 million a year just to fly it. Yeah, Jordan's spinning big, but so is Shaq, because this dude dropped millions customizing cars, adding butterfly doors to his head.
By the way, I'm sure that most of you know who Michael Jordan is, but we know him as the Chicago Bulls six-time NBA champion, six-time Finals MVP, and that's how we know who he is. But if you pay attention to the afterlife that he had after basketball, it's amazing because he then bought the Charlotte Hornets, Charlotte Bobcats back then, but now he's owner of the Charlotte Hornets. He's actually the first African-American who is owner of an NBA team, and that's awesome. But he's just a prime example of transitioning from your career, whatever professional sports you play, onto becoming an entrepreneur. And you can apply this to yourself, myself. If we are used to working for somebody else, we can therefore learn from the strategies that they use to go and become an entrepreneur, because anybody can do it. But let's go ahead and move on with Shaq.
Hellcat, decking out his Rolls Royce in honor of Kobe. Hell, he even created his very own monster truck. But there's one customization that takes the cake.
When I first came from Baton Rouge, Beverly Hills, you see all the fancy cars come by. So one day I see a Ferrari come by. I was like, I want one of those guys. So I went to the thing, and the guy was like, "You're too big." I was like, "I'm too big."
Yeah.
So one of the guys was like, "Well, maybe you got to buy two and put, cut one in half, put them together." I was like, "You know what? Maybe I will. I'll take that one and that one." And I got a Ferrari.
Wait, so you built a Ferrari where you cut them apart?
Yes.
And then made like
together.
A giant stretch Ferrari?
Yes.
By the way, if you haven't been around Shaq, he is huge. He's 7 foot 2 inches, but when you get around him, he's pretty big.
This man Shaq has done it all. And if you add up all 40 of his custom cars, his entire garage is worth over $5 million. Man, Shaq stays whipping.
Wow.
But Dwayne Wade.
By the way, Shaquille O'Neal, again, 4-time NBA champion. Okay, 3-time NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, 1-time NBA champion with the Miami Heat. But the life that he has had after playing for professional basketball is just an amazing story to tell. He owns multiple businesses, but not only that, he gets to have fun, giving back to the community, which is one thing that I respect a lot from Shaquille O'Neal, but also just the way that he strategized himself to become a businessman. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into Dwayne Wade.
Stays kicking because he made the most expensive basketball shoes in the world. These are his custom leaning Way of Wade 4s. These kicks will knock your socks off because they're not only strapped with diamonds, sapphires, and solid 18-karat gold, but they're also worth a ridiculous $4 million. But don't get it twisted. Sometimes players flex a little too hard, and they end up losing everything. See, back in the 90s,
Dwayne Wade, again, another professional athlete who's transitioning into the life of an entrepreneur after he has played multiple years, 15 years, I believe. I don't know the exact number with the Miami Heat, but I mean, Dwayne Wade, it's an amazing player. He obviously, is doing a lot for his community, but this is going to be an example now, Allen Iverson, on what not to do with your money.
a young Allen Iverson was balling out on and off the court.
We've been poor for 20 years plus, and I mean, I finally came into some money now. I want to live a little bit now.
Oh, you living, baby, you living.
Again, that's the mindset of most of us carry. Okay, when you get a big paycheck, you're saying, well, I paid the price already. I worked so hard my entire life. I'm not going to ever be here. Let me go spend it. The next thing you know, you end up broke.
Yeah, he was spending all his millions, buying Lambos, Bentleys, flying private jets, even copping a $5 million mansion. AI's life was like a movie, but eventually he started splurging too hard, because by the early 2000s, AI was throwing his money away, spending $40K a night at the club, dropping hundreds of thousands at the casino, even giving away six-figure cars to his teammates. So by the time AI retired, he was neck deep, spending over $360,000 every month. That's $4.3 million a year. And without the NBA money coming, paying bills became impossible. He started drowning in debt, even being sued by his own jeweler for failing to pay over $850,000 in debt. And by 2012, AI's pockets were empty, leaving him with no choice but to declare bankruptcy. Man, these guys will spend every dollar trying to flex. But
again, there's many examples. Okay, just like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, one of the greatest point guards I have ever played the NBA. Okay, he played with the Philadelphia 76ers. He actually made it to the NBA Finals where they play against the Lakers, against Kobe Bryant. But man, when, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, when you don't have the right people around you, and by the way, you don't have to be a multimillionaire, okay? This is just any average person, even if you're making $40,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a year, if you don't have the right people around you, eventually they're going to suck you down with them. So that's one thing that you got to be mindful of, and surround yourself with great people that are going to push you to get to the next level, not push you down.
some NBA legends don't spend a dime like LeBron. See, even though LeBron makes $111 million a year and is literally a billionaire, the man is cheap as hell. He doesn't pay for Spotify. He forces rookies to cover dinner. I mean, damn, he even packs his own snacks for NBA games.
So there's this morning TV talk show clip of Dwayne Wade talking to Kelly Ripa, and Kelly asks, who is the cheapest guy in the NBA?
Who is it?
And Dwayne Wade says, LeBron James.
That is so false. Really true. I'm not turning on data roaming. I'm not buying no apps. I still got Pandora with commercials.
Wow. You know you're rich, right?
I'm not paying for it. I'm not.
You see, do you hear the different patterns that you have with Allen Iverson spending $360,000, I think it was a month, versus LeBron James? I'm not going to pay for any Pandora subscriptions. Okay, I still got him with commercials. By the way, I still have that as well. Okay, my YouTube channel, I don't have a subscription on it because I just don't see the fully need for that, because then you get sucked into, oh, I got that, but then I can get that, then I can get that. Next thing you know, you're drowning into just monthly subscriptions, monthly debt, monthly payments that you have to have. So you got to have that mindset. You got to have that frugal mindset, just like LeBron has it, because he spends the money where it's going to give him money back. Cash flow.
Bam.
This man LeBron's a cheapskate. But hey, man, I can't blame the guy. He doesn't want to end up like Dennis Rodman, because this dude got scammed for millions of dollars. See, Rodman's been known to blow a bag or two. $250,000 on jewelry, $1 million on a beach house, and hundreds of thousands just transforming his body. And when you live that life, the last thing you want to do is manage your own money. That's way too much work. So in the mid-2000s, Rodman hired someone else to handle his finances, his closest friend, Peggy Fulford. And at first, everything seemed fine. Rodman kept doing his thing, spending worry-free, while Peggy was making sure his money was in good hands. But in 2012, Rodman noticed something strange. His electricity, his water, Everything in his house was turned up.
I mean, most times the people closest to you, okay, they know your finances, they know your whereabouts, whatever that is. But when there's a lot of money coming in, when there's a lot of money in the bank account, sometimes the closest friends are not the best people that you want to trust. So, which is why you got to have the right people around you.
He started getting letters in the mail saying his bills weren't getting paid. And after doing some digging, Rodman learned something unnerving.
But in the span of 3 years, Rodman's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, and others in Rodman's team will discover that Peggy is faking her credentials. They'll accuse her of stealing, quote, a ton of money from the NBA All-Star.
Yeah, Rodman's own friend was robbing him blind, stealing over $1.2 million. But hey, in the end, Peggy got pegged because in 2018, she was officially found guilty of financial fraud. And not only was she forced to pay Rodman back, but she was also sentenced to 10 years in prison. Damn, my man Rodman got played. But what's even more twisted than that is how Dwight Howard.
Again, when there's a massive amount of money around, okay, the difference between having a person that you trust versus someone that you think is your friend, it's a big difference. And you gotta know how you're gonna allocate the money. Again, that's why I keep saying having the right people around you is super, super huge.
Spends his money because this dude is dropping.
Again, he played for the Los Angeles Lakers very short time. I'm kind of disappointed actually that he left when Kobe challenged him to step it up to the next level, and he ended up leaving to the Houston. He came from Orlando to the Lakers, then he went to the Houston Rockets. After he left the Lakers, you can pretty much say that was downhill for him. And man, this was a great NBA player that could have been not the next Shaquille O'Neal, but probably win multiple championships. Kobe Bryant probably win about 2 to 3 more.
Hundreds of thousands on snakes.
I have some of the biggest snakes. The one down here, her name is Cleopatra.
How big will she get?
Up to like 25 feet, 200 some pounds.
How often have you been bit by one of your snakes?
I've only been bitten 3 times.
Is there like a scar?
Yeah.
Wait, let's see. That's no joke. That's a real bite.
It didn't even hurt. I definitely think people have a misunderstanding about snakes.
Yeah, Dwight loves snakes, and over the years, he's purchased over 40 of them, which is a lot of slithering. So, Dwight not only hired 2 full-time caretakers.
40 snakes, man. I mean, hey, all respect to you. More power to you. If that's what you like, I would not buy any snakes. So, not any of those little tiny snakes, but I mean, I guess, Dwight Howard, he finds, love and passion for them. Good for the men.
But he also dropped over $100 grand building them their very own snake mansions.
Wow. Look at that.
Man, these snakes are living the good life. But no snake lives better than Kevin Durant, because he spent millions of dollars.
Kevin Durant, one of my favorite players. When he came into the NBA league, he was part of the Oklahoma City Thunder back then. You had Russell Westbrook, you have James Harden. They had the talent around them, but they just gave up too soon. They gave up too soon because that could have been a trio that could have dominated the entire NBA for the past 10 years. And probably, not the Golden State, would have dominated, because eventually he went to the Warriors, where they were already a championship team, which I'm kind of disappointed for that. But now he's with the plays in New York with the New York Nets, and I like to see him win a championship.
Buying his own professional sports team. See, these days, every legend has got their own team. LeBron owns Liverpool Football Club, Giannis has the Milwaukee Brewers, and Steph even owns an esports team. But KD, he's a little different, because in 2020,
most NBA players, actually Patrick Mahomes, an NFL player now, but LeBron James, I believe he's the first active professional athlete who becomes a billionaire. But this is the way to do it. These are prime examples of investing your money, investing in assets that are going to produce you monthly cash flow coming into your bank account. But man, great for this guys. You know, they're starting to shift the mindset of the young.
Me too. He went out and dropped over $1 million, becoming the proud owner of a major league pickleball team. Yeah, pickleball. And I know it sounds weird, but the sport's on the come up because it's the fastest growing sport in America. Not only that, but it's growing faster than the channel. So what are you doing? Subscribe. I'm trying to catch up.
By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, okay, it's growing faster. Pickleball is growing faster than the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the like button. Consider subscribing, and I promise you that we will give
Someone
you
who can't catch
content.
up is Charles Barkley, because he has an addiction that's costing him tens of millions of dollars. See, Chuck is a gambling man. And while he was
Charles Barkley, one of the greatest power forwards that has ever played the NBA again, the Phoenix Suns, you know, early 90s. But again, addiction comes in any shape and forms. Okay. And gambling, it's a huge addiction here in the United States. And you're going to see Charles Barkley doing it at a massive.
was in the NBA. Got his fix by making bets against his opponents. But it turns out that that's illegal. So in 1990, Barkley got in trouble with the league and was forced to find a new way to gamble. So to satisfy his itch, he decided to raise the stakes by going to Sin City, Las Vegas. And that's where Charles
Vegas
went completely off the rails.
You know, I went to Vegas a bunch of times and won $1 million in a weekend, probably 10 times.
Wow.
But I've also went to Vegas and lost $1 million, probably 3 times that much.
Yeah, Chuck was down bad.
If you catch what he says, I went to Vegas many times. I won millions of dollars multiple times, but I've also lost 3 times as much, meaning that he was on the negative. He lost 3, he won 1, lost 3, won 1, lost 3, won 1. Imagine that you do that 4 times. How many times, you know, are you in the negative? You know, you're negative $8,000. So again, addiction, it's one of the big problems that you'll encounter here.
By 2008,
in Las
he was
Vegas,
in deep with
Nevada.
the Sharks because the Wynn Casino in Las Vegas hit Charles with a lawsuit claiming he owed him $400,000. Now, luckily, he was able to pay him back. But this incident scared Charles straight, so he took a few years off from the casinos and got his gambling under control. But the damage was already done because, according to Chuck, his gambling addiction has cost him over $20 million. Man, this guy really did have a problem. But he's not the only one, because Giannis is obsessed with buying shoes.
How many shoes do you own now?
Around 4,000 pairs of shoes.
Wait, 4,000
Again,
pairs?
Giannis has an addiction for shoes, but if you heard him earlier, he is part ownership of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Shoes.
Yeah, this man owns over 4,000 pairs of shoes.
Again, when
and all
you
those
invest your
kicks
money like
are
that
costing Giannis an arm
on a team that's going to produce you cash flow, I mean, you have the right to spend the money on shoes if you want to. I mean, you're making big money.
and a foot, because if you add up every pair he owns, Giannis has spent at least $480,000 on shoes. Man, Greek freak, more like feet freak. Well, look, $480,000 is chump change to some legends, because James Harden spent over $1 million in a single night. Yeah, in 2017, when Harden was playing for the Houston Rockets, he was looking for a place to chill, party, and do his thing. So he hit the hottest club in all of Houston, Dreams. And it was here that Harden partied hard, dropping over $1.4 million in one night.
$1.4 million in one night.
Yeah, those bands made him dance. And to pay their respect, they decided to honor James by retiring his jersey inside the club. This dude Harden made it to the Strip Club Hall of Fame. What a legend. But look,
I mean, good for the men. Good for the men. I wish that he can get his jersey retired with either team where he's going to win a championship. Again, he played for the Oklahoma City, Houston Rockets, then the New York Nets. Okay. But now, you know, he's with the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm really rooting for the men to win a championship so he can get his jersey retired.
Look, we got to talk about Russell Westbrook for a second, because Russ has spent millions of dollars buying clothes. Yeah, Russ has been into fashion ever since he was a kid. When he started cashing those NBA checks, he wanted to make a fashion statement. So he started buying up entire stores, wearing outfits that make headlines. Yeah, it's like this dude's got a brand new outfit every day. Oh, wait, he literally does.
Now, I heard that you don't wear the same outfit twice. Is that true?
Yes.
And dressing like
he does not wear the same outfit twice. That's pretty insane.
This will really run your pockets, because according to Russ, he spends over $350,000 on clothes every single year. Yeah.
$350,000 in clothes every single year. By the way, I'm not the kind of a guy that's gonna go to Gucci, Louis Vuitton. I mean, I go, just Marshalls, Kohl's, whatever I can find a good deal. If it fits me and if I like it, if it's very minimal, no letters, no writing, I'll throw it on. Every now and then I like to buy me a Nike jersey, a Nike shirt, Adidas shirt, but I'm not the kind of a person that does that. But man, I respect the man. If he likes fashion, you know what? That's what you do. I hope that he's putting $350,000 as well in some assets that are going to produce him cash flow. Otherwise, the man's going to end up like the other examples that we heard earlier.
Russ is balling, but Steph Curry is balling even harder, because in 2022, after winning his 4th NBA championship, Steph wanted to celebrate big time. So he bought his very own vacation home, a 4,200 square foot mansion in Winter Park, Florida, worth $2.1 million. Damn. And look, we've seen all legends spend their millions, but now it's time we add a few zeros, because we got to talk about how Michael Jordan spends his billion.
We talked about how most NBA players spent millions, but now we're gonna get into the big guys. Okay, Michael Jordan, how he spends his billions. By the way, he owns Charlotte Hornets and also, I believe, a racing team of the NASCAR. But again,
see, as a player, Jordan didn't spend too much. He bought some cars, a mansion, nothing too crazy for someone like MJ. But when he retired from the NBA, Jordan developed an urge to splurge. So he started spending crazy. $15 million on his own golf course, $25 million on a NASCAR team, $88 million on not one, but 2 luxury yachts. But in 2010, Jordan made his greatest purchase yet, buying the Charlotte Hornets for $175 million. And this deal was historic, because it not only made Jordan the first player to own their own NBA team, but it also turned Michael Jordan into a billionaire. But look, there's one more legend.
A billionaire. Again, Michael Jordan, great individual, okay, on and off the court. It's the skill that he was able to bring to the NBA, but also the character that he's also being able to bring after the life that he played 19, 18 years, whatever the time was that he played in the NBA. Now, he's transitioning into a businessman, creating jobs.
Then we got to talk about Kobe Bryant, because how he spent his millions was worth more than just money. Back in 2007, Kobe launched the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation with just one goal in mind: help people in need. And that's exactly what he did. From opening a social services building to help homeless youth, to donating $1 million supporting veterans. Kobe's passion was helping others. In fact, he even granted the most Make-A-Wishes in NBA history.
He granted the most NBA Make-A-Wish in NBA history. So that shows a lot from Kobe Bryant. The character that he was, the day that he passed away, it was a sad day for most of us, who love the sport of just any sport, basketball. And man, it just literally broke my heart, because I'm thinking, I'm going to see him transitioning into what Michael Jordan is, right? But his own version, now spending a lot more time with his family. It's just a sad tragedy, but what a legacy he left behind.
History 200.
I love your haircut. I love it. If I could grow hair again, I'd do that.
I know.
But I put your name in the back of my head.
And while the world lost a legend in 2020, Kobe's mission to help people will live on forever, because after his passing, Kobe's wife Vanessa wanted to honor him and Gigi by renaming their charity to the Mamba and Mambacita Foundation.
Man, the Mamba and Mambacita Foundation, it's it's actually a, Mamba. Obviously, he was the black Mamba, Mambacita. It's in Spanish. You say Mamacita is like beautiful woman, but they added the Mamba. I think it just hand in hand, it goes together. But man, what a difference it makes, from great NBA players who played the game, right? And most of them, they are NBA champions who are transitioning into becoming business owners. Okay, which is why that's the work ethic that I love about Kobe Bryant. You can say anything that you want. He didn't win 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls, with the same team. Okay, you name it. But the work ethic, okay, that he had, okay, that he was able to bring in others, it's what I love. And so that's what I love about, just Kobe Bryant. And again, you can see who was on LeBron James, billionaire active player; Michael Jordan, billionaire afterlife; and then you got Kobe Bryant, who unfortunately is not here, but is the legacy that he left behind, the businesses that he left, and just a beautiful family that he left behind as well. And so, but then again, you got the other players, right, who play great in the NBA, but they just were not, they're not pushing it, you can say, right? They got the talent, but they still don't have a chip. They don't have a ring yet. And those are the ones that get carried away by the money. And it happens in every scene, not just in sports, in any aspect of life. Okay, where you receive big checks, you receive a big money, and then you get carried away by, just not putting a big effort any longer into your company, the company that you work for, your business, whatever you're running in life. But I just wanted to show you great examples of how some of the NBA players spend their money. Man, I hope that you got to learn some of it, right? It was just fun, how it's just watching these guys, spending their money, but also investing their money as well. But again, don't get caught up into the celebrity, show in front of people, in front of cameras, because there's a price that's got to get paid behind cameras when nobody is watching. And that is what all of these athletes paid. That's why they made it to the NBA, and they millions of dollars. So again, next time you want to get caught up in the well, when I get that, there's got to be a price that you got to pay first in order for you to get there. Anyways, I hope that you got some value out of the video. I hope that we made it fun. And again, if you haven't done so, consider subscribing to the channel. Go ahead and like the video. Help us support the channel. We have a goal of 10,000 followers by the end of the year. Right now is February 2023. So we have a goal of 10,000 by December of 2023. So help us by subscribing. But until then, we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.